What's going on YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and today I am reviewing a Windows laptop, and that is the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex Alpha. And if you were wondering, maybe you saw the regular Galaxy Book Flex. This is like the sibling of that, or the younger sibling, I should say. So it's a little bit cheaper than that more expensive Flex model. But this Flex Alpha, it is a really interesting laptop. So I saw it on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, all these great holiday deals. So I thought I'd let you know, whether it's in the holiday season, maybe you're watching this in 2021, I wanted to let you know if this device, if this Windows laptop is worth buying, because Android tablets can't do everything, right? You need some productivity beast, so I wanted to review this. So with all that being said, let's get straight into the review and let's get this review going. Alright, so I've got this Book Flex Alpha here in my hands, and you might be wondering right off the bat what price this starts at. So you have the lower tier model. Now that model comes with an i5 processor, a 10th gen processor, comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gigabyte solid state drive. And that model retails at $850, and you have another model that retails for $150 more. That comes with an i7 processor, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it comes with 512 gigabytes of solid state storage. Now these are going to share a ton of similarities, so I have the i7 model here, but pretty much everything I'm saying in this review will apply to both. Now when we look at this laptop, you're going to notice this is a 2-in-1 laptop. It's a very beautiful, elegant laptop, and it's got a fantastic design. So if we take a look at the left side of the laptop, you are going to notice a headphone jack, which is a really big deal. You don't see that in a lot of laptops or phones in 2020 or 2021. You also have an HDMI port here and a USB-C port. Now, very important to know, this laptop does not charge with USB-C. There's been a lot of confusion online. I just want to clear it up. Now, you do have two USB-A ports. Now, these are USB 3.0, and you also have a micro SD card slot here as well. So you can add a little bit of extra storage through that. Now I should also note that that USB-C port, it is not a Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4 port. Now these are some of the sacrifices that you really have to deal with when you're coming from the regular Flex and you're going to this Alpha model. And there aren't a lot of other compromises because this has, again, amazing build quality. You'll notice that this is made of aluminum and it just feels so premium. This device is extremely light. It comes in at 2.6 pounds. This is super lightweight, which is really one reason why I was drawn to it. And when we open up the device, you are going to see it looks very premium on the inside as well. So you get this really nice finish. And one thing I like, when you just take a look at the keyboard here, you're going to notice that the keyboard feels really good whenever you are actually touching it. It's got a good feel to it. But you also have a little bit of grippiness here with the numbers and the letters. You can actually feel them, and it actually gives you a little bit of a grip when you are typing. Now, one thing you will notice with the keyboard, the travel is, well, not as good as some laptops. You might be used to those very big clicky keys. This is a very quiet laptop as far as typing goes, but on the other end, I absolutely love this keyboard. This is one of my favorite keyboards that I've used. I don't know why, but I really love that it doesn't travel quite as far. It travels just far enough, and you get a grippiness to the keys. It feels very good when I'm typing. I type very accurately. So the keyboard might be a con to some people. I'm not just being an optimist here. I absolutely love this keyboard. I love the feel of it. And if you want to try it for yourself, again, I'm sure it's at Best Buy or some other retailers. But I absolutely love this keyboard. So it's hard to call it a pro or a con because I could really tell there's going to be some division on it. But this is one of the favorite keyboards I've used. Now you are also going to notice here you have a fingerprint sensor, and they had to make the shift key a little bit smaller. That's one of the compromises that you're going to see on this keyboard. A lot of people use left shift anyway, and I actually use right shift quite a bit, but it didn't bother me at all. But just keep in mind that they did make the shift key a little bit smaller for that fingerprint sensor, and I didn't mind it at all. In fact, I very much appreciate having a fingerprint sensor. There is no Windows Hello thing with the camera, so you can't get into it with the camera itself. But the fingerprint sensor works great, and I really do like the location personally. Now, one of the biggest reasons why you should consider this laptop is the display. So again, it's touchscreen, it's 2-in-1, it flexes all the way back, which is great. And it does have a little bit of bezel here. You're gonna notice that there's a small bezel on the bottom. Not all laptops have been able to get rid of that. And that gives you a little bit more space on the bottom here so you could rest your palms while you're typing. But outside of that, I've got to say this screen is one of the best screens I've seen in a laptop. Okay, this screen gets up to 600 nits of brightness, and I know there are a lot of premium laptops that do that. But again, I've seen a lot of sales on this laptop, especially in the holiday season, and I'm sure you're going to see it going into 2020 as well. I've seen the base model go all the way down to $650. I've seen the upper model go to about $800. So if you see those prices, and you might see some open boxes or other things going on, you are going to really find a steal of a deal because there are not a lot of laptops with this good of a screen. It is a QLED screen. It is a 1920 by 1080, so it is a 1080p resolution. But I've got to tell you, there is something very different about QLED. This screen is super bright, and it gets up to 400 nits normally, and then there's an outdoor mode that pushes it up to 600 nits. Now, I would never recommend leaving your laptop on 600 nits, and your battery life is going to be absolutely terrible if you do that. But this laptop has an extremely good screen. It looks way better than I've seen in most other laptops, and I absolutely love it. And as far as performance goes, this laptop is very, very fast. Now, it does have a 10th generation i5 or an i7 depending on the model you pick. So even though it doesn't have that Intel Iris graphics, it doesn't have, a graphics card built in, this thing is very, very fast. I was able to edit videos on it very, very quickly. The videos rendered very quickly, and I did do it in 1080p. I know 4K can definitely be done on this laptop, at least on the i7 model. Even the i5 model could probably do 4K, it would just take a little bit more time. So this computer, it is going to be a beast. So if you're wanting to go to college and you're wanting a really good laptop, this is going to be very, very fast. Whether it's the i5 or the i7 model, this is going to be a productivity beast. You want to have 20 tabs open? I think you'll be fine with the 8 gig or the 12 gig model. And if you want to do some light gaming, this will do very good with light gaming. Just keep in mind that if you run the more demanding games, well, it doesn't have a graphics card in here. It doesn't have some NVIDIA graphics card that's going to be a beast, okay? Doesn't have it. But it's still a very, very fast processor, so it does pretty good with some older games or some games that don't take as much resources. So this laptop has very good productivity, it has very good performance, and it has one of the best displays. Again, displays around this price range are not QLED. Okay, so you're gonna have to go up to over $1,000. I would say this screen is probably even better than some of the Surface laptops in my opinion. So you have a phenomenal display, very, very good performance, and I've got to say the battery life is pretty good on this thing as well. So this laptop has a 54 watt-hour battery. It's a 4-cell battery. So this is going to give you very good battery life, but you have to keep in mind, a lot of people with battery life on laptops, it's very subjective, okay? If you leave your brightness on 400 nits, if you max out your brightness, if you put your computer on maximum performance, no, you are not going to get 10 or 12 hours of battery life, okay? You might say, oh, I hate this laptop, the battery life stinks. I'm gonna go to this HP Envy, right? Or I'm gonna go to the Lenovo Yoga C740. Well, those laptops have about 250 to 300 nits of brightness at maximum, right? So this laptop has so much more brightness that it could drain the battery more if you maxed it out, right? So you might want to put the brightness at a more reasonable level, maybe tune up the battery saving modes a little bit, because this is going to perform like a beast even if you turn on some extra modes. This is going to be great. So just keep in mind that you want to manage your battery well. Zoom calls do take a decent amount of battery. Gaming takes a ton of battery, and so does video editing. So it all depends on what you're doing, and battery life will vary from person to person, but this laptop should get a normal person around anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, of course, depending on what you're doing. Now, if you compare this to the regular Flex model, that model comes with an S Pen. This model does not. It does not work that I know of. I know a lot of people have debated this. I do not believe it will work with an S Pen at all. However, you can just get a normal Windows pin, right? Like the Wacom Bamboo pin. I'm going to link that in the description. You could use that. You could use it for drawing, and it should work maybe even better than the Note pin, because that Note pin is very small anyway. Now, if you're wondering about the thermals, if you're wondering how hot this thing gets, I don't think this laptop gets too hot. Just keep in mind that on the bottom of the laptop here, you have these 4 little feet here, and you have this here that lets out heat, which helps cool down the laptop. You also have right here, right in the middle of the laptop, I definitely felt a lot of heat coming out of here, which is a good sign that heat is getting let out of the laptop. Now the speakers, I know people have said the speakers are on the side. Some people say the speakers are on the bottom, right? I don't see a speaker hole here on either side. I don't see any holes for sound to come out of. But on the bottom here, I did notice a lot of sound coming out of here. So I think these two are the speakers. Even if they are for letting heat out of the laptop, it doesn't matter. I think you're going to hear the sound more from there. The speakers are average on this laptop, okay? They're not great. So with this laptop, you are going to have some cons to it, right? Again, compared to the $1,500 Flex model or the $1,400 Flex model, you're going to notice some cons or some drawbacks. Now, those things are going to be minor, I think, to most people. So on this laptop, you can't upgrade the RAM. And I know that might be a bummer to some people, but it is soldered on to the laptop. Now, you can upgrade the NVMe drive, so you can upgrade that SSD, which is a very cool thing, but can't upgrade the RAM, and that's sort of a little bit of a bummer to a lot of people. Now, if you do want to get into this laptop to maybe change something out or clean something out, you'll just want to take these 4 little feet off, these 4 little rubber feet. I actually saw a video, I believe it was just one video, I think it was on Reddit, maybe it was on YouTube as well, but there was only one video I saw that actually showed how to take this back off. You just had to take these 4 little feet off, there's 4 screws underneath, and you should be able to get this off very carefully. And when you do get it off, you are going to notice that it looks like you can replace, again, the storage, but you cannot replace the RAM, which is a little unfortunate. Now, the one last con I want to mention with this laptop is the hinge. The hinge is a little bit stronger than I expected. I saw on a lot of reviews it seemed to be a little weak. People complained about it, but it was stronger than I thought it would be. You are going to notice whenever you are typing, the hinge does wobble just a little bit, at least on your lap. If you get it on a steady surface, I don't think it's going to wobble too much. But again, your mileage may vary. I've seen some people have opinions on that. So this is the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex Alpha webcam, and I also have the microphones going from the laptop as well. So as you could hear, the audio quality is pretty good from the microphones, and you also have the webcam, which is a 720p webcam, and I think the video quality is pretty good overall as well. So it's not 1080p, but it's still good quality 720p, and I think that's pretty good for a laptop webcam. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think this is pretty good quality. I think it is, and I think this will do just fine for most people's needs. So look, I keep it real on my channel. I give you the highs and the lows of a device. You might be wondering if this device is worth buying for you. And as always, I do say it depends. The first thing you need to know about a laptop, you need to look for the right price. So laptops go on sale almost every 2 weeks. If you're paying full price for a laptop, you're probably paying a little too much, right? Because when a laptop's been out even a little bit of time, you'll typically see $100 or $200 off. I see sales frequently on Best Buy for $200 or $300 off laptops. The same thing on Amazon as well. So like I said, I've seen this laptop drop The base models drop to about $650. I've seen the other model drop to about $800. So you want to find these for a good price first off. I think that's very important. Now, if you do find these for a very good price, you have to remember, this laptop is super, super lightweight. It feels great. Because it's lightweight, I think it's really good to use as a tablet. This laptop has a very good processor in it. And again, for $650, let's say you do find it on sale for that price. The i5 model, to get an i5 processor, to get a super lightweight laptop with really good battery life, right? To get one with a USB-C port on it, an HDMI, and a headphone jack. It has a backlit keyboard. It's got an aluminum frame on it. I don't really see a lot of laptops that have that much going on for it, plus a QLED screen. Again, for under $1,000, I don't think you're going to find any laptop with a screen of this quality. So it's not a Ryzen processor, no. It's not an 11th gen i7 or i5, but look, this laptop performs extremely well. So if you're asking yourself if you should buy this, you really have to look at the price and then you have to compare it with other laptops around the price. You have to ask yourself, what is worth it to you? Do you want USB-C charging above all else? Or would you rather have a QLED screen, which is phenomenal? All in all, I really, really love this laptop. It does have some minor gripes with the USB-C charging. It has some minor gripes with no Thunderbolt. With the speakers, they're not quite as loud as some laptops. They're still pretty good, but they could be slightly muffled or not as loud as some other laptops, but they're serviceable, right? So outside of that and the hinge being a little bit iffy, I love the keyboard personally, so you might not. But this is a phenomenal laptop and one I would highly recommend to pretty much anyone, again, depending on the price you find it at and depending on if you're okay with the minor drawbacks. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit that sub button, alright? I'm trying to get 10,000 subs. I'm a lower YouTuber here, so I would really love a sub here. Also give a like to this video. Feel free to share it. Click that bell for notifications. And hey, I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you have a great day. And oh, by the way, stay safe.